feel a little bit bad for the kid who was rolling out with his
Yeah,
biological father.
it was a little surprising where they're like, "Oh, you hate Kardashians? Well, sorry. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
You're now with them forever. And oh, you love your parents, your adopted. Oh, that's so sweet. You're never gonna see them again, though.
Say
Sorry.
goodbye.
Yeah, sorry. Bye.
Now you're gonna go back to the place where you hate, where you've been taught to
Yeah.
hate.
Anyway,
So
go ahead and leave our station because we're gonna go back to normal for next week.
exactly. So I thought that was a little bit. I mean, it was tough to swallow. Obviously, you have to pick one or the other, right? So that the same kind of feelings would be kind of transposed to the father, the biological father, if he was the one that was left out and
Yeah.
getting a chance. But I guess the logic that Cisco used was that he was the victim, that the real victim in all of this was the biological father, which was a good logic to use, you
Well, and
know?
the son was also the truest victim because
Right,
son's got nothing to do with it at all.
right.
And hopefully the kid's young enough, if this were real, the kid's young enough to be able to grow through his prejudices and kind of get re-educated that his biological parents were good and his adoptive parents were good, which also brings us to a really good moment between him and Miles O'Brien, because we've joked before that Miles is like a total racist because he totally is, and O'Brien was forced to kind of face that when he's talking with the kid. And they had that cute moment where they both don't want to taste the Kardashian food. Keiko makes the Kardashian food and they both push their plates out, and then they kind of share this little moment where they're like, oh, we
Yeah.
both hate Kardashians.
Yeah. I thought that was a nice little subtle play. I was also wondering what was inside of that food that they were eating because it looked like a clam chowder gone bad.
Mm.
So I was wondering to myself, what did they make for them to eat? What was in that little concoction?
That's
But
always something we always wonder is when you see people eating something that looks gross, you wonder what actual real food that doesn't taste gross are they using for this?
yeah, exactly, because it's got to be something. Um, and so you watch that thing and you watch him eat it. And it's just like the faces O'Brien makes are hilarious, and that little moment of mutual disgust for it was also, as you pointed out, something that was a nice little bonding moment between the two of them. But yeah, it's funny. I couldn't stop thinking about Aaron when I was watching
Mm.
the kid. For some reason, I just kept thinking about Aaron. You talked about it earlier, but there was something about this kid's energy that reminded me of Aaron.
Hmm.
He gave strong performances, I thought, and he had an intensity in his eyes. I think maybe it was the intensity in his eyes because Aaron really communicates well with his eyes.
Hmm. Well, you have to under all those prosthetics. Yeah.
Right,
It's
right.
all about your voice, your body movements, and your eyes.
In your eyes, yeah. And I thought this kid also was, one of the kids that I mean, his eyes were believable. He sold me on his emotions and how he felt
Mhm.
uncomfortable. I completely bought that.
Yeah, and like I said, the similarity there for me was that it seemed like it was an adult that was short and was trying to make an acting career, and they said, "Well, can you play, a 12-year-old alien?" And he was able to do it convincingly. I mean, with enough makeup, you can't really tell that it's an adult, and maybe he wasn't, but I think he was. But he was able to pick up like the mannerisms and the innocence of a child, and actually act like a child, which was great.